Are you lying awake at night worrying about the news? Feeling your blood pressure rise every time you turn on the TV? You're not imagining it. The current political dynamic is stressing seniors. Yes, in Europe and America right now, in 2026. And here's what most people don't realize. This isn't just about feeling upset. Political stress seniors 2026 Europe US are experiencing is actually changing our bodies at a cellular level. I'm here with Prime Health Lab, and today we're going to uncover exactly how 2026 politics are hitting your health. And more importantly, I'm going to share 5 easy science-backed fixes that you can start using today. Hit that like button if you're over 60 and you're feeling this stress. And stick around because what I'm about to share could genuinely add years to your life. Before we dive in, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. We post videos every week specifically designed to help seniors like us navigate health challenges with practical, proven solutions. All right, let's get into this. Let's start close to home for many of you watching from the United States. Since President Trump's return to office in January 2025, the political landscape has created unprecedented stress levels for American seniors. And I'm not being dramatic here. The data backs this up completely. First, let's talk about the immigration raids that began in early 2025. Now, whether you personally support stricter immigration enforcement or not, here's what's happening to senior health. Communities across America are experiencing what researchers call ambient fear. Even if you're not directly affected by immigration status, if you live in areas with heavy enforcement activity, your stress hormones are elevated. Why? Because uncertainty is one of the most powerful stress triggers for the aging brain. Seniors in border states and major cities report seeing increased ICE presence, hearing sirens, witnessing neighborhood disruptions. A 54% increase in reported stress levels among seniors in these communities. That's according to preliminary 2025 data from the American Association of Retired Persons. Second, the ongoing government shutdown threats over funding battles. Here's where this hits you directly. Every time Congress gets close to a shutdown, what happens? Social Security offices face potential closures. Medicare processing gets delayed. Veterans' benefits hang in the balance. For those of us on fixed incomes, this isn't abstract political theater. This is wondering if your check will arrive on time to pay for medications. I've spoken with seniors who've told me they literally check their bank accounts multiple times a day during these political standoffs. That's chronic stress, friends. And chronic stress does real damage. Third, and this is huge, proposed Medicaid cuts in the 2025 budget. Now you might think, I'm on Medicare, not Medicaid, so this doesn't affect me. But here's what many don't realize. Millions of seniors rely on Medicaid for nursing home care, home health services, and prescription drug coverage that Medicare doesn't fully cover. The proposed cuts have created what I call healthcare anxiety. Lying awake wondering, what happens if I need long-term care? Will there be coverage? Will my savings be wiped out? For seniors on fixed incomes, these aren't idle worries. The Kaiser Family Foundation reports that healthcare-related stress among seniors spiked by 43% in 2025. Here's what ties all this together. Political stress isn't like stubbing your toe. One sharp pain, and it's over. Political stress is relentless. It's in your news feed. It's in conversations at the grocery store. It's on 24/7 cable news. And for seniors whose brains process and recover from stress more slowly than younger people, this creates a dangerous accumulation effect. A question for you. Have you noticed yourself feeling more tired lately? More irritable? Having trouble sleeping? Drop a comment and let me know, because you're definitely not alone. The Ukraine conflict, now entering its 4th year in 2026, has created ripple effects across the entire European continent. Energy costs remain elevated. Food prices are up, But beyond economics, there's something deeper happening: existential anxiety. For European seniors who lived through the Cold War, the current tensions with Russia are triggering memories of that era. Psychologists call this historical stress echo, when current events resonate with past trauma. Seniors in Poland, the Baltic states, and Eastern Germany report anxiety levels comparable to crisis periods. They're not just watching news, they're reliving fears they thought were behind them. Let's talk about France. The pension protests that dominated 2023 and 2024 haven't really stopped. The retirement age was pushed from 62 to 64, and now there are proposals to push it even further to 65 by 2027. For French seniors, this isn't theoretical. Imagine planning your retirement for decades, counting down to a specific age, and then, boom, the goalposts move. Current retirees worry their pensions will be cut. Those approaching retirement feel betrayed. The protests themselves, the strikes, the occasional violence, the social disruption, create daily stress. And here's a striking statistic. French seniors in major cities report what researchers call pension anxiety black holes, periods of intense worry about financial security that can last for weeks. Depression diagnoses among French seniors aged 60-70 increased by 37% between 2024 and early 2026. Germany, long considered Europe's anchor of stability, has experienced unprecedented political fragmentation. Coalition governments keep collapsing. Policy flip-flops on energy, immigration, and defense spending create whiplash. For German seniors who remember the post-war economic miracle and decades of political predictability, the current chaos is deeply unsettling. I spoke with researchers in Berlin who found that seniors in Germany's political hotspots report feeling unmoored, like the institutions they trusted their entire lives are crumbling. The 2026 Hungarian elections and the rise of populist movements across Europe create another layer of stress. Whether you support these movements or oppose them, the polarization itself is toxic to senior health. Families are divided. Longtime friendships fracture over politics. Community events become tense. For seniors who value social connection, which is absolutely vital for health, this polarization is heartbreaking. NATO expansion debates, defense spending arguments, and questions about collective security create background anxiety. Will there be war? Are we safe? These aren't comfortable questions for anyone, but for seniors with limited mobility and fewer resources to relocate or adapt quickly, security concerns hit especially hard. Here's the most sobering finding. Depression risk doubles among seniors living in high political tension areas of Europe compared to more stable regions. Think about that. Simply living in a politically chaotic environment doubles your risk of clinical depression if you're over 60. So let me ask you this. If you're in Europe, how are you coping? What strategies are working for you? Share in the comments, because we're building a community here, and your experience might help someone else. First, the aging brain processes stress differently. As we age, our prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain responsible for emotional regulation, becomes less efficient. This doesn't mean you're losing your mind. It means your brain literally takes longer to come down from stress responses. When you were 30 and saw upsetting news, your stress hormones might have returned to baseline in 20 minutes. At 65, it might take 2 hours. At 75, even longer. This means seniors accumulate stress in a way younger people don't. Second, isolation amplifies everything. Many seniors live alone or have limited social contact. Without someone to talk through concerns with, political anxieties can spiral. You sit with your thoughts, the news plays on repeat, and worry builds. Combine that with news overload, 24-hour cable news, constant notifications, social media algorithms designed to provoke emotional responses, and you've got a recipe for chronic stress. Third, fixed incomes mean political decisions have immediate, concrete impacts. When politicians debate cutting benefits or changing healthcare, you can't just work more hours to compensate. You can't easily relocate or change your situation. This lack of control is one of the most potent stress triggers known to psychology. Finally, many seniors already manage chronic conditions: heart disease, diabetes, arthritis. Political stress doesn't exist in isolation. It interacts with these conditions, worsening symptoms, complicating management, and creating vicious cycles. The question is, what do we do about it? Because understanding the problem is only the first step. Now, let's get into solutions that actually work. All right, here's where we turn this around. I'm going to give you 5 practical, scientifically proven strategies to protect yourself from political stress. These aren't vague suggestions. These are specific actions you can start today. First up, walking. I want you to commit to a 10-minute walk every single day. Not when you feel like it. Not when the weather's nice. Every day. Here's why this is so powerful. Walking lowers cortisol, your primary stress hormone, by up to 30%. A Stanford study found that walking in nature for just 10 minutes significantly reduced rumination, which is that tendency to replay worries over and over. Make this your daily habit. Put on your shoes first thing in the morning, step outside, and walk. Notice trees. Notice birds. Notice your breathing. This isn't just exercise, it's a neurological reset button. And here's the beautiful thing: you don't need a gym membership, special equipment, or even good weather. Even walking around your neighborhood or inside a mall works. The key is consistency. Second, breathing. I know, everyone talks about breathing. But stick with me because this specific technique is incredibly powerful, and I'm going to walk you through it right now. It's called 4-7-8 breathing, developed by Dr. Andrew Weil. Here's how it works. Breathe in through your nose for 4 seconds. Hold your breath for 7 seconds. Exhale completely through your mouth for 8 seconds. Repeat 4 times. Let's do it together right now. Breathe in. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Do you feel that? That slight shift? That's your parasympathetic nervous system activating, your body's natural calming mechanism. Do this every time you feel political stress rising. Before bed, when you turn on the news, after a tense conversation. This technique literally changes your brain chemistry in under 2 minutes. Third, social connection through activities you actually enjoy. Not forced socialization, genuine, enjoyable human contact. This could be bowling with friends, a weekly coffee group, a book club, a gardening club, anything. The key is regular, scheduled social interaction around a shared interest. Why does this combat political stress specifically? Because it reminds you that life is bigger than politics. When you're laughing with friends over a bowling split or discussing a mystery novel, your brain literally cannot maintain the same stress response. A University of Michigan study found that seniors with regular social activities had 50% lower stress hormone levels than isolated seniors, even when both groups consumed the same amount of political news. Here's your action step. Schedule 1 social activity per week. Put it in your calendar. Treat it as seriously as a doctor's appointment, because in a very real sense, it is medicine. Fourth, limit news to 15 minutes per day and replace news time with creative activities. I know this is hard. You want to stay informed. But here's the truth. Watching 3 hours of news doesn't make you 3 times more informed than watching 15 minutes. It just makes you 3 times more stressed. Choose one quality news source. Check it once per day for 15 minutes. That's it. Turn off notifications. Remove news apps from your phone's home screen. Stop the constant drip of anxiety. Now, what do you do with that reclaimed time? Creative activities that engage your hands and mind. For many of you, that might be cooking. Try cooking simple international meals. Why international? Because learning about other cultures through food creates curiosity and joy, the opposite of fear and anger. Make Italian pasta from scratch. Try a simple Thai curry. Bake German Stollen. When you're focused on measuring flour or chopping vegetables, your mind isn't spiraling about political news. You're creating something beautiful and nourishing. The act of creation is inherently calming. Other options: gardening, painting, woodworking, knitting, writing letters, anything that requires focus and produces something tangible. Fifth, consider evidence-based supplements, but, and this is crucial, only under medical supervision. Magnesium is particularly relevant for stress. Many seniors are deficient, and magnesium plays a direct role in nervous system regulation. Studies show magnesium glycinate, the most absorbable form, can reduce anxiety and improve sleep quality. Typical dosage is 200 to 400 ml before bed, but you must check with your doctor first, especially if you take medications for heart conditions or have kidney issues. Other supplements with solid evidence for stress reduction: omega-3 fatty acids from fish oil, vitamin D, many seniors are deficient, especially in winter, and B-complex vitamins. Here's what I want you to do. Print out this list, take it to your next doctor's appointment, and ask, would any of these make sense for me given my current health and medications? Don't self-prescribe. Don't assume supplements are automatically safe just because they're natural. Work with your healthcare provider. But do have this conversation, because the right supplements can genuinely support your stress resilience. Let's talk about what's coming and why there's genuine reason for hope. The political calendar for 2026 is packed. U.S. midterm elections in November, multiple European elections, ongoing policy debates. The temptation is to think, it's just going to get worse. But here's what history teaches us. Political chaos is temporary. Institutions bend but rarely break. And most importantly, individual resilience, your ability to maintain your health and peace of mind, is something you control. There's a saying I love: you can't control the wind, but you can adjust your sails. The political winds will blow, they always have. But your response, your daily habits, your social connections, your information diet, your self-care, that's your sail. Focus relentlessly on what you control. The seniors I've seen thrive during political turbulence aren't the ones who ignore reality. They're the ones who acknowledge reality but refuse to let it dominate their lives. Community beats chaos every single time. When you take care of yourself, connect with others, and focus on what matters, you're not just surviving, you're modeling resilience for everyone around you. You've lived through a lot. You've survived recessions, wars, social upheaval. You have wisdom that younger generations desperately need. Don't let temporary political stress rob you of the peace and health you've earned. All right, friends, we've covered a lot today. From the specific political stressors in both the US and Europe, to why seniors are particularly vulnerable, to 5 concrete strategies you can implement starting today. Here's what I want you to do right now. First, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. We post videos every single week specifically designed to help seniors navigate health challenges with practical, science-backed advice. You're part of the Prime Health Lab family now. Second, drop a comment below answering this question. How does current politics affect your daily life and stress levels? I read every comment, and your experience might help someone else feel less alone. Third, share this video with a friend who might need it. We're building a community of seniors who refuse to let political stress steal their health and happiness. And finally, go take that 10-minute walk. Seriously. Close this video, put on your shoes, and walk. Your future self will thank you. I'll see you next week with more practical health strategies. Until then, take care of yourself. You deserve it. This is Prime Health Lab, reminding you, your health is your wealth, and you're more in control than you think.
Prime Health Lab is dedicated to men's internal health. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.